Hello everyone, welcome to our video ministry update for the month of March, where we share with you all that's going on in our lives and our ministry here in the country of Bolivia. You know, when someone is running a marathon, something that I've never personally done, I can only imagine the feeling of what it must seem like when they can finally see the finish line off in the distance. All the effort, all the struggle that they put in to finish, and they can know that it's just a little bit farther and they'll be able to reach their goal. I can honestly say that I've definitely felt some of that during this time, helping our church in Pacata buy land and helping raise the money for that. With a little over $10,000 left, we now only have just a couple of weeks to be able to reach our goal. So we're trying to push hard through the last part of this stretch, and we're trusting the Lord to bless and to provide so that we will be able to reach our goal before the end of these 2 weeks are up. You know, we've been truly amazed at the generosity of God's people and God's blessings during this project and during this time. And I can honestly say that we're just truly very, very grateful. And we'd just like to ask you to pray and help us during this last stretch of the race so that we will be able to reach our goal. And all together we can praise the Lord for helping us make it to the finish line. If you'd like to help us reach this goal and this final amount to be able to finish paying for the land there in Pacata, of course, you can let us know by writing to our email. That's ktwbmw73@gmail.com. And you can send that to Vision Baptist Missions Incorporated, care of Bolivia Land Fund, and that's P.O. Box 647, Dawsonville, Georgia 30534. You know, during our time here in the ministry, I can also say that it's always been a great joy to see people grow in their spiritual lives. And although that can be very difficult sometimes to help people in this process, we always try to encourage them, but also to give them opportunities to be able to take the next step in their lives. This year in our first church, we've come up with a plan. We've made a plan to help the people with this process and help them in their spiritual growth. The three main steps that we've wanted to help them take have been, number one, in salvation or evangelism, number two, in growth or discipleship, and number three, in ministry or service. That's three things. And so once every 2 months, we're dedicating the last Sunday of the month to focus on one of these three things and give the people an opportunity to respond. The last Sunday in the month of January, we were able to focus on evangelism. So for that week and then 1 week after that in Sunday school, we had a training time to be able to help people learn better how to share the gospel with others. And then the whole focus of that last Sunday was evangelism, was making a decision for salvation or being willing to evangelize and try to reach others. And so we handed out a questionnaire where they could ask for more information about salvation if they weren't sure about that. They could also want to learn more about how to witness to others, which is how we had the training times. And then also they could sign up for us to go and help them to witness to someone that they know, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, planning a time to go meet with that person, maybe at their house or maybe somewhere else, to be able to share the gospel with that person and help them do the same. And then also encouraging them to invite others to come to church where they can hear the gospel. And so we're excited about these opportunities that the people will have to be able to take the next step in their spiritual lives. Every 2 months we'll be focusing on that, and the next one will be on spiritual growth and discipleship, trying to get everyone involved in discipleship. And then again, the last one or the third one there would be to help them to get involved in serving somewhere in the church. And then we'll repeat that again so that they'll have at least 2 opportunities during the year to make a decision and take the next step in their spiritual life. So pray for them. Pray that the Lord will continue to bless and help them in their spiritual growth. Also this past month, my wife Beth, Miss Courtney, and some of the pastors' wives here had a ladies' retreat for all the churches and the ladies of our churches. They had planned a whole day Saturday to meet and have classes and have fellowship and to encourage the ladies in their spiritual life. The ladies' retreat had a focus or a theme. It was actually to be focused on their personal spiritual lives, to be focused on their marriage and also be focused on their children and how to raise them. And I think altogether they had about almost 50 ladies that participated in this retreat. And then my wife, Courtney, and some of the pastor's ladies taught the classes. They divided them up into single ladies, married ladies, and then mothers, where there was a focus there on each one of those. And the interesting thing about this activity was my wife, Beth, has been inviting a lady to come, and she actually came for the first time. Her name is Paula, and we were able to meet her many years ago, really, in one of the museums. She's a guide in one of the museums, and since we take groups there and people who visit us, we've gotten to know her. Beth's always invited her to come to church, invited her to come to these activities. She never really has until now. And so she came to the ladies' retreat and just really enjoyed it. She's actually come to several other ladies' activities, the ladies' meetings that they have on Friday nights several times a month. And then she's actually even come to a couple of the church services. And so we're very excited about that. We're praying for Paula. We'd ask that you to pray for her also, so that the Lord would continue to work in her heart and she would be open to hear the gospel and be saved. She's not saved yet. We're praying that God would work in her life so we could see her be saved. So a couple of prayer requests. Please continue to pray, obviously, for the need there in Pacata, for the land, that we'll be able to see the remainder of that come in, so we'll be able to reach our goal, be able to reach the finish line. Also pray for Paula, for her salvation, that God would continue to work. I've seen many times how when someone begins to be open and show interest, Satan always tries to fight and tries to hinder that as much as he possibly can. Then also pray for our upcoming pastors and men's retreat that we'll be having next month. We'll be telling you more about that next month. And then also pray for the men that God is allowing us to train here in the ministry. God is really blessing us, and we're just overwhelmed by the opportunity, and we want to take advantage of that and not take advantage of being able to help these people in their preparation so that they will be able to better serve the Lord in their lives. So thank you so much for all that you do for us in our ministry here. We thank you so much for it. Without you, we couldn't do what we do here. So thank you, and God bless.